All right, we're going to start this match. This is the IM Intermediate, ESEA Intermediate Grand Finals. And we've got Team Dog1 versus Team El Classico. I'm going to actually watch Rikachu actually has played Invite Demo and currently playing in IM in the finals. So let's see if that Invite experience is going to carry his team to success here. Supposedly his team went 16-0, so they are kind of the favorites, I think, here. He's going to roll out window, just kind of playing it safe. So a lot of passiveness from this other team, El Classico. And they're just all taking their own train, kind of grouping up here. No one really wanted to go aggressive, but the soldiers both bombing in from Dog1. And they're just getting cleaned up really well. So the passive play actually paying off really well here. They just kind of absorbed every player from Dog1 and yeah, just focus fired them really well. We've got Micah here just trying to survive, but instead of kind of wasting time and going behind, maybe he could make them slow down a bit and not advance to Spire so fast, or maybe make them hang back near the medic because he could threaten like a force. He just decided to all-in commit against two fully buffed scouts under the point, so questionable play there. But actually, strangely, they're going to push into Diag here and leave just one scout to cap. We got the forward hold set up from Dog1, so this is kind of the classic position if you do have an uber disadvantage and the other team doesn't roll in fast enough. So what this forces them to do is, with these stickies here, it's pretty much a death sentence to try and open this door. Look, 5 players are trying to fit through a trapped door. And they're just going to go in. Rikachu fell to the ground, didn't have stickies loaded and set on the door, so that was just honestly a mistake from Rikachu there. I was trying to talk him up in the pregame, but goddamn, that was fairly amateur right there. And just notice what I keep seeing from this El Clasico team is they're just very, very blobbed up, it would seem. Sneaky looked like he kind of froze there, lagged out. These internet finals, man, that'll happen. But a failed push, and a lot of it goes to the fact that there was no point presence, no pressure on the point from good old El Clasico. But the spy play, this timing is actually really unexpected. They've got this soldier here, and he's going to stop the spy. So if I were Wretch, oh, another 1v1 at last. But wow, Denz is going to get them both. So Denz actually saving this round for his team. El Clasico going all in with 2 players going for last there, and it's going to allow the rest of the team to just push up here. See, if you knew Sneaky and Wretch were both going to go for last, what you'd want to do is you'd want them both to coordinate, or maybe just have your spy sit on the point. He doesn't need to uncloak right here. See, what happened was the soldier saw the spy uncloak right there, and then he was able to start like preemptively aiming here. But what you do as a spy is you disguise as the enemy team, or as your own friendly, or kill your disguise, and then you uncloak. That way you're actually capping the point as your cloak fades away. And it's more likely that you're going to get the cap, or just have your teammate like fighting and distracting at the same time. So we're just moving forward here into the next Spire fight. I haven't really been paying attention too much to like the Ubers and such. Wow, that medic just narrowly avoided a bunch of pipes, and the team fight goes in the way of El Clasico, who again have 6 people just all together in one doorway. Look at this. But you know, it could be justified, because if you think about it, like there were only 3 people up from Dog1. So what that means is if someone's going to go for a play, it's going to be a very solo play, you know? If someone's going to try and get the medic, it's going to be just him. So bunching up like that does help to protect your medic, but at the same time it leaves your flank open. People could get behind, back cap, things like that. So man, this round is just going so back and forth. I haven't seen these teams play before, so I can't tell you whether this is just IM finals nervousness causing some mistakes here, or if they're just so evenly matched and playing at their full power, max power. But the Ubers are constantly equal. Like, both medics are actually doing a pretty good job of surviving and maintaining their life. So this is some really strange play right here. You don't really see stuff like this too often, where the combo is actually fighting Diag, or like, yeah, I'm just seeing some just things that I would not expect to see right now. Rikachu bombing in after his medic died. Kind of questionable. See what you'd want your demo to do, what maybe Muma would do, you know, or another top invite demo is once their med died, your demo's not going to be jumping in to, you know, cap Spire. He's going to be setting up traps and, you know, trying to get a pick to slow down the fact that you're at a disadvantage, you know? So, I'd say that was a bit of a mistake there from Rikachu, but because of that wipe from Dog1, we've got the sniper rolling out here from Sam. I kind of disagree with this positioning. See, I just feel like it was risky, or it was a not risky necessarily, but he didn't need to take all the extra time to climb all the way up here and set up. I think it would have been better for him to just scope up right here, because in a way the sniper is more of a intimidation factor. If they see the sniper, they're not going to peek, so the longer you're hidden and like rotating, the more freedom they have to run in. So now they're going to be trying to push upper. An early death there from Connor actually is kind of bad because Cookie Jake is holding an Uber advantage here. We're going to watch to see if we're going to get a push out of Ranga. Ranga's moving towards upper, but I don't think he's going to go through here. He's peeking lower, but that Uber advantage is quickly slipping away. If he kills this scout, they could potentially take this. He's got to check for that trap, though. Oh, it was already cleared. So Ranga's actually confidently just strolling right through here. And he's going to commit, but we've got the counter Uber ready to come out of Bear. Wow. I don't think that was worth it to pop there, honestly. If I were Cookie Jake there, it would be worth it to drop your pocket if you know for a fact it's going to be a worthless Uber. Because you'd rather be able to back up to last when the other team needs to clear this much ground to use their pick advantage and hold your Uber so that your player can spawn, if that makes sense. And wow, see, that's what came back to bite them, is the fact that they wasted their Uber on nothing just to save a player who was already dead and not going to make anything of the Uber. And then the Uber just comes in and puts people on the point. So for all you medics out there, sometimes you got to drop people. Just ask Lansky, you know, Shade dropped that kid all the time, but it was the right decision a lot of the time. But don't drop me. If you're healing me, never drop me. Okay. So here we are, next mid, trying to see if it's the same kind of play. I'm going to watch Wretch here, see what he's doing to really protect his medic. You see just both scouts like really focusing, and no damage goes onto either scout early. So what they're really just doing really well is just focus firing, man. The mids have both gone to this El Classico team. So, but luckily Cookie Jake is not going to be one of the casualties of the middle. He's going to be backing up. They're going to hold their last here. Too many people were down, so they weren't able to set up that same forward hold that you saw last round. But some momentum here. This is actually moving a lot faster than the first round. So maybe El Clasico is trying to make a statement here. I think they're kind of considered the underdogs in this match, but we'll see. They actually have way more like players that I would think would be like ESEA-IM champions. Like Sneaky played on a mid invite team. Christopher played in invite. Connor, I think, played invite. And I think their medic actually is Bear. I don't know him too well. I've played with a few pugs with him. He seems to be pretty solid. So, like, I think the advantage actually goes to them. Their scouts, I mean, they've been playing a good style this game, but I'm waiting for them to really impress me, I guess. So, the sniper lower, meanwhile, this Klitschko guy is just clearing stickies, and Connor's just going to jump in, and he's going to go for the force while Wretch, it looks like, is going to run to the point. So this looks like a very, very set play, something that they've discussed in the past. Wretch could have capped the point. Instead, he went for the sniper pick. I would have liked, if he was running in here and saw there was no trap on the point, to just cap it, because Connor made a huge distraction right up here, and the demo didn't even realize the trap was gone. But now 2 down, Klitschko is looking for the opening. He's going to be pushing the flank. I think he should be confident there. They can afford for him to take a risk. The other team was already down 2, so he could actually commit to that 1v1. If he gets that pick, everyone can come in, because then they're 3 down, you know? I feel like it was a bit of a wasted opportunity there once again. So they're going for that spam lower right. Again, another kind of like set play They're doing what they can to break this last open, but looks like Dog1 was prepared. They didn't manage to get killed here. The thing about this door is that it stays open even if you're like way back here. So it can be kind of risky to sit in this doorway if it's getting spammed or if there's like a sniper peeking it. So same play, actually. The exact same play. But it's going to pull Rikachu down to the point. It's going to almost, and it's going to get half cap time there. So that play, really really dangerous. Something that like everyone has to be in position to stop that. Left has to be watched, point has to be trapped, and then someone has to be killing that soldier. If any one of those things doesn't go right, then the round could potentially be lost by a force or by just an instant cap there. So, but now that I think they've kind of caught on to it, I doubt it's going to work again. This is kind of an interesting timing here, a spy play. I would probably not expect this. He's going to go for the full wrap around on spy. I think he's going to get this. But if he has the same luck as me, he got it. He got the medic. He tried to go for something more. Ended up dying. But actually what happened was that medic stab happened at exactly the same time as they went for the same last play. So 3 people were in, committing, and dying while their medic got stabbed. So they pretty much... What the fuck? Okay, thank God this guy is here. Oh no, they didn't get cap time. That just can't happen, man. Both scouts got behind unseen, which also can't happen. But if you're on Spire and you see the other team trying to contest you, you know they're doing something. Like, why would they try and contest when they're down 2? They're trying to cap last. Assuming they're like thinking properly. So actually we're seeing a different mid this time. We're seeing a more aggressive mid here from El Clasico. They're going to take the enemy team's train. Not really sure why they decided to change it up. Because their mids were working. Maybe it's like a read on the other team, because what actually ended up happening this mid was they traded sides and then they ended up winning anyways. So instead of sitting here and letting Dog1 roll out into them and be the aggressors, like full committing, they just traded sides and still won the mid anyways. And this is starting to look like it's slipping away from the boys on Dog1, as KKK still has his Uber. He's about to march in upper here. I think they're going to be taking their demo man in because they should know there's a sentry. So we're going to watch Christopher as he leads this Uber in. There's a engineer. That's the only off class. I think they have room for another. A pyro, a heavy. Actually, they're Ubering their soldier. This is kind of questionable. He does manage to take it down. I'd say it's kind of risky to just Uber your soldier in for the sentry, because if you get juggled, if there's a pyro... Honestly, if I were the Engie, I would just keep repairing it if I saw only a soldier running in. You know what I mean? But that was a quick 3-0 first half. That was like a 10-15 minute half. So pretty convincing first half from El Clasico. Looks like everything's really kind of going their way. I kind of want to check the stats if it would work. I don't think it's going to work. Sometimes that works. I don't even know. I feel like their medic has died like 0 times, maybe like 1 or 2. And then I don't know, their scouts are doing a good job with like focus firing on mids. There hasn't been any feeding. That's the thing. When I'm watching El Clasico, there's no feeding. Everyone's playing together and they're all like focus firing. Meanwhile on Dog1, I'm seeing a lot more desperate plays and a lot of like just mispositioned mistakes. And it's kind of making the difference. So, going into the next half, what needs to change like immediately, and if you're a competitor and you're in a match and you have this, like you have a winning mentality, you need to be making changes. Even if you're down 3-0, you can still come back and win. I've been there many, many times. So what needs to change is they need to just... They just need to be more on the same page as far as where they're going on the mids, because if they're all full committing in, like, there should be a kill on the medic or the demo. It doesn't make any sense that they're like bombing this much and like neither of them are dying. Also, I'd like to see more early damage from Rikachu on the scouts, because the scouts sitting back like this, it kind of does leave them vulnerable to just get spammed off of positioning. If they push forward and like pressure you and it's more of like a tug of war, then and they're like kind of actively dodging, then you could see them still like holding their ground. But if they're just sitting back, like, you can just push them further and further and further back. And I want to see Rikachu play confident and do that. And then Cookie Jake has been dying quite a lot. I haven't seen exactly what he's dying to, but it just seems like he's not necessarily the first death every time. So it's kind of because of all these other team problems that are kind of mounting together and causing these rounds to slip away. The first round was great. The first round they did something right, where they were playing more like together and keeping their advantages, but since then it hasn't been working. So Rikachu this time is playing a little bit more aggressive, and he has that trap down on that slope. That could be a fat trap. He destroys one of the scouts, keeps the combo in Valley. So Rikachu just absolutely controlling this middle. And now it's just going to be on his team to not throw this away. When you have the height advantage like this, you just need to maintain it. Rikachu baiting Soldier to jump into him, and Sam there with a follow-up. And it's going to be actually Christopher still in. He's just going to die here. Late death from the demo. So what that does, 20-second spawn on Christopher being the last death. No traps to worry about going into lobby or last. So what Christopher should have done is when he was down here, he should have just tried to run away. Do his best. It could maybe have given him an even later death, but he saw that both scouts were capping, so I think with some well-placed defensive stickies, he could have escaped and survived. But going for the last hold, now they've got the NG, they've got the Pyro. So here you might see a better last hold, though, because the Pyro and NG kind of double the amount of annoyance and defense here. Oh, that's possibly a crucial mistake there. Falling off the high ground as the Pyro, but no, Dog1's going to spam the sentry down with nice synced rockets there. The sentry's immediately taken out of play before this Uber's taken in. Klitschko's just going to switch to heavy. And the Uber comes in now. The Pyro's forward focusing. Wasted about 60% of that Uber on the Pyro. And the heavy's still healthy and up top. But Dog1 doing something really well here, which I like, is once the Uber came in and they got a kill or two, they just maintained high ground. They rotated to the right to try to kill flank players instead of dealing with that heavy, which is, you know, kind of a smart call. Whoever called that basically won the round for him, I'd say. And we're going to go into the next mid. Hopefully we can see another decisive mid out of Dog1. I'm going to actually watch Ranga. He's playing pocket. I want to see if he's playing like really aggressive. He is running gunboats. Rikachu down. This is when someone like Ranga needs to make something happen. So they did actually manage to equalize it pretty well. They got 2 picks. I'd say 2 big picks for the medic, or for the demo, is worthy. Oh, there he gets that fat rocket that destroys the scout and the medic, but then he let the medic surf away. If that were me and that scout died, because the scout is the main threat there. If you killed the scout with the first rocket, that's fucking smooth sailing for the medic. Like, I would have jumped again, maybe even skip jumped off this and guaranteed the medic died. It's a worthy risk. Like, your team is going to get Spire no matter what, but because you let the medic get out, now you're going to have to slow it down for last. But if he would have committed to kill that medic, then that could be an easy round win. But they're actually going on it right now. I think they're anticipating the fact that they had a slight advantage. He hits the direct onto Bear there, gets him down to 40 health, but he gets Uber just in the nick of time. So I like the idea, trying to push on the fact that they, despite the medic living, they know they had a heal advantage or a percentage advantage, but didn't end up working out. And actually Dog1 is full committing to this. Sneaky distracting on the left. They're not going to get anything. Rikachu has to get out now. I do like, though, what Rikachu did as far as getting out. Like, both his teammates committed, but he kind of was assessing the fight from a safe distance, and that's really what you got to do, because now you can see Rikachu survived that, and now he's on Spire defending. If Rikachu had died there, I guarantee you the red team would have pushed out. So that's really how important the Demo Man's life is. Teams will push off just the Demo Man pick, but notice how they didn't push off a scout and a soldier pick, because the timing was such that eventually when they got to Spire, they're dealing with traps, they're dealing with all this bullshit that they don't want to push anymore. But if you had the demo dead, that's pushable. You know what I mean? So what we're going to see now is just a slowdown here. We're going to see a stalemate. I don't really know what kind of... Actually, look at this. We got a banner on Sneaky. He's got the Conjurer. So because of this this circumstance of a last hold, there's going to be a lot of back and forth spam. So maybe he's anticipating that he's going to build up that banner, and if they do have an opening, he'll just use that as kind of like a mini charge in a way to try and break out a last here. So kind of a rare thing to see, but definitely a good thing to see. So we've got the spy also from Sam. He's going to get spotted. He's going to go down. Good awareness, though. I think Sam is kind of known for going spy. So they're going to be keeping their eyes out for that, probably from now on. And Sam now is just going to spawn scout, so they're going to go for probably some sort of suicide or some sort of play here, I would expect. Like, once again, we got the sentry here. The cool thing about this sentry is it will cover lower main really well. Like, these soldiers are taking damage from the sentry, and they have to walk pretty far forward to actually hit it. Unless, I think if you run the original and you like sit like right here, you can hit it. But it's much harder with the rocket launcher because of like just some of the angles here. But at the meantime, you're taking spam and all that. So what I think would work better is if they would try to kill the engineer, actually. So what I would like to see is like their demo man trap off top left, and then they have people just spam like right here to kill the engineer. Or have someone spam from this angle, you know? Because the engineer is like committing to this sentry. He's a potential pick if he's too committed to it. Really, the sentry is here just to waste the enemy team's ammo and time of their Uber charge. It's not really here to you know, get kills or whatever. So it's not worth trading your life to keep your sentry up unless the enemy team doesn't have Uber and they're all like really weak. So Dog1 is kind of just baffled at how to destroy this sentry. The truth is, though, this engineer has very limited ammo because he's relying on this small ammo pack. So if they were just persistent enough, they could destroy it. He's also kind of roaming around, like he's playing on this stairway, which is, I would say, pretty unwise. And there you go, he's dead. So now they have the sentry down and they have the pick on the player. So that's the perfect opening. They're going to Uber in here. An early pop. The counter conch. So now they're actually going to try and chase with this counter pop. And Sneaky's running super fast, life stealing his way in upper lobby. And we're going to see if Sam can get this pick on the medic. He's done 100 damage to Bear. Bear goes down to 3 health, 3 HP. That means that Sam did over 150 damage, but the medic was regenerating his health. So that's heartbreaking indeed. One more shot, or if he was like one hammer unit closer to the medic when he hit one of those shots, the ramp up would have given him the kill. So pretty unfortunate for him there. But wow, look at this full commit, just catching them completely off guard. They're going to kill off Sneaky and Wretch. What they need to do now is try and get some momentum here. Connor goes down 2. Now it's just 2 up. It's only Chris and it's only their medic. So what needs to happen? What are you waiting for, son? Why? Why did Sam wait there? That could have been the perfect play. Just come up right behind the medic. He's going to run on the point. They need to get the force, though, while these players are dead. Or not. Rikishu's on the point. So they actually did something a little bit unconventional. They brought their combo in lower right, and they ended up getting on the point. I think that if Christopher was just more aware of that, he could have had the point trapped, and the Uber from Bear being on the high ground would have actually given them the hold, but they weren't fully aware of all the entrances. This is actually looking like a comeback, 3-2, so complete turnaround here in the second half. Whatever they changed, it's been working quite well. We're going to see an early commit from Sneaky. He's actually going to go all the way behind, and he's in a house. We're going to see if he can get anything coming from this back angle. Sam has spotted him. Sneaky's hitting a couple rockets, but maybe because of his distraction going behind, his teammates were able to just play the point. All of Dog1 was kind of sitting in a corner, sitting over there in the closet. But this is still a winnable fight. What I would have maybe liked to see was just have someone from the El Clasico squad run forward and try to put some Spire pressure out, because that would have made Dog1 have to split their resources basically to hold on to the mid fight and their own Spire. We did see both medics die, a slightly later death from Cookie Jake, but it's going to be essentially even here in a last hold. We did also see on mid, Rikachu bombed. He bombed into the medic because Bear was sitting back here at 96% and single digits of health. Rikachu bombed in to get that kill. And at that point in time, the thing that happened that made it all fall apart was the pocket soldier was in house, and the medic from the other team that survived was trying to retreat, choke, or something like that, and they ended up being out of sync and they didn't get the Uber. So, oh, it was a crits play actually. So I did not see the crits. It was popped for absolutely nothing, but I don't think it's going to matter. I think it was questionable of Dog1 to go for that Spire hold. They just committed on no opening, no advantage. So now we are going into the next round. That mistake right at the end just cost them. I think if they went back and watched this match, they would know that was pretty dumb to do. Connor actually doing the Dave AC, gonna push under the point, and he's gonna just instantly kill the medic. So when your medic is the first one dead on the mid, that's gonna be a hard mid to win, and we've got El Clasico proving it here, just rolling through them. Connor already in super deep on Greybridge. He's moving at a fast pace, you know, almost an invite pace, I might say. These teams, of course, are currently live competing in the ESEA Intermediate Grand Finals, and the winner of this match gets a free ticket into Invite. So, yeah, they're essentially trying to prove that they can play at an Invite level right now. And this Uber's going to be coming in top left. The Uber on the Scout, they've got the Sentry, they've got the Heavy, but that Heavy is not going to go down. The Sentry is doing just enough knockback to keep them away from killing the Heavy, and a lot of point pressure right now, and that's going to be it. Wow, look at the health on Connor and Sneaky. So close there, man. If just a few more shots were hit, if the flank was held, really, that would have probably kept that hold in place, because the Sentry and Heavy really did their job over here. They bought time. They wasted almost the complete Uber, but once they started dropping people on the point, that's kind of when it all fell apart. I feel like on last holds at disadvantages, this like tube position is kind of underrated. They call it the Termo. You don't necessarily have to be a demo sitting up here, but like a lot of times your demo is going to get pushed back into spawn, and he can't trap the point. So even if you guys are doing well holding, like wasting their Uber and kiting, if the point isn't being covered, you will lose the round, which is one of the big struggles of defending this, because a lot of times there's nowhere to go except backwards. Badlands is probably the smallest last in the game. So it's kind of strange, you know, when you think about that, like, why is Badlands so loved? I think the last is one of the hardest to play. It's very hard to push out, and it's very hard to, like, I don't know. It's very hard to have like a big dynamic team fight on this last. And a lot of the reason is because of the size, the cap time being super fast, so there's not a lot of like baiting of the point like there is on Process or Metalworks or, you know, Snakewater, you know, maps like that. And also you have this really low fucking ceiling with really dumb vents that prevent you from rocket jumping or surfing or anything. If these vents were removed and the cap point was like twice as long, I think this would be a better last. I would like to test something like that, but I don't know. I don't see a Badlands Pro ever catching on, to be honest. Yeah. So as far as what's going on in this match, El Clasico, who I think were the underdogs, won the match or won the first map 5-2. It is the grand final, so it's a best of 3. And I think if they're coming from the lower bracket, someone that actually follows IM or plays an IM might want to let me know here. But like, is this gonna be are they coming from the lower bracket? And if they win this, is there gonna be a second best of 3? I would expect there would be. Would I cut someone from Froyotech for someone essentially useless if it meant TF2 became one of the most popular esports? Yeah. I'd cut myself, then go start my own team with people that weren't useless. Loopholes, baby. It's one best of 3? Oh, okay, so everything's on the line here. There is no lower bracket. What the fuck? Single elim? Okay. Questionable. Questionable, I'd say. But single elim, intermediate. Guess that's how they do it. Yeah. Cookie had 8 deaths, Bear had 6. Really? I'm surprised it was that close because it honestly felt like Bear never died. I don't know, man. And it felt like Cookie was dead a lot more often. So I am actually gonna pull up the stats real quick, so maybe we can get a little bit more insight into what happened that game, kind of like where things fell apart. The stats can honestly tell you a lot. So here, we'll pull this up real quick. Let's take a look here at these stats. So who are the carries, first of all, is what I want to know. You got Sneaky on Pocket. He's probably carrying 315 DPM. You got Rango on Pocket on the other side. Also pretty much identical DPM. So the Pockets are pulling their weight for sure. Let's check a look at the demos. 250 on Rikachu for DPM. Christopher 250, like identical DPM here. So like maybe it's not really a skill thing. It's more of like a coordination thing is what it seems like. It's really how it seems. 2 drops? The fuck? I didn't see any of those drops. So not sure what I missed. Zoom in, please. Hard to see. I hate zooming in. Ugh. Oh, you can. Okay. There we go. Is that easier? But Rikachu with I'd say fairly high deaths. That actually is kind of telling. Look at Christopher. He went 16 and 5. Rikachu went 9 and 14. So Christopher kind of playing that style that has kind of been so celebrated lately with like demos that keep their deaths really low. You know what I mean? But Rikachu is kind of dying at the same pace as everyone on his team. He's committing when everyone's committing. He's not really preserving his life and the round as much as he could be. But not like any crazy stat lines. The match was only 27 minutes long, so you're not going to expect to see anyone put up 30, 40, 50 frags. So yeah, like it must have come down really to just a lot of snowballing. You know, if all the deaths look like this and the DPM was so similar, El Clasico just did a better job that when they got the kills, they capitalized on it much better. They closed out rounds when they won team fights. And they had players that were going for bigger plays like back caps and all that kind of shit. Winning rounds, you know what I mean? So, yeah. We've got a question here. Why aren't banners normally run in comp 6v6? Well, there's a lot of reasons. The honest reason is because people don't like experimenting, and they're very stuck in their ways. That's the real reason. But other reasons you could maybe point to would be either they're banned, which for some of them are. I think the battalion's backup is banned. Or you know, people like their shotgun, they like their gunboats. You know, you didn't see Sneaky running the banner the whole game. He ran it holding last. You know, he ran it in a very specific situation, and it takes some, like, I don't know, it takes a certain kind of player to be willing to just go to that length to actually win. Honestly, like, it's kind of a big problem with people that claim they want to win, but they're not willing to play off classes, or they're not willing to take advantage of these unlocks that are legal and potentially overpowered as hell. So, yeah, you should kind of rethink that. What does invite mean? Invite is a league in ESEA. It's a division. It's the top division where the pro TF2 players play at. You know what I mean? So we're gonna go into the next map. It's gonna be Gully Wash, actually, and we're gonna see another map from Dog1 versus El Clasico. This is gonna be map 2 in the IM Grand Finals.